Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, I want to talk about my man Giannis Antetokounmpo in this video briefly, man. And I just want to say thank you to Giannis, man, for real. Now, I did a video earlier this year, and the title of the video was "What's Up with Giannis," man, because I said that he wasn't having the same impact on the defensive end. The impact wasn't there. It wasn't necessarily about the numbers or the lack of numbers, but it was a lack of impact that he was having on the defensive end, right? It didn't really seem like he was having that same impact on both sides. And that's what Giannis was always known for, his two-way play at the highest of levels, right? So I want to say thank you to Giannis in this video, though, because Giannis is not falling into that trap that a lot of these other players are falling into. And that's the three-point trap, where you're just chugging up all these threes and you take away from your own game. Giannis is not doing that, man. And I wanted to say thank you, and I want to talk about this video because everyone in the NBA just chucks up all these threes. And Giannis doesn't seem to do that, man. He's not doing that. He's not going to fall in for the banana in the tailpipe, so to speak. You guys know the Beverly Hills Cop reference. Yeah, he's playing his game, man. I want to talk about this video. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, as you guys always know, I am truly, truly humbled by all support, man. It really means a lot. Much respect to all the true basketball fans that are standing up, man. Like I said, man, real recognize real. So much respect to all you guys out there. Thank you for anyone who's supporting my channel through donations, super chats, through the PayPal, everybody in the membership. Thank you, guys. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk briefly about Giannis, and I wanted to send a thank you out to Giannis, man, for not being one of those guys in the NBA that completely just lose themselves. Because that's what I feel a lot of these players are. They're lost. They don't even know what game would be best for them, right? Or you think that they know what game would be best for them, but yet they won't play that game. And I've talked to you guys about Anthony Edwards on this channel, right? I've talked about him this season and how this man was averaging, like 11 threes a game or something he was chucking up. It's insane for Anthony Edwards to be one of the top guys in the league in shooting, attempting threes. It's insane. And the percentages don't matter. I don't care what Anthony Edwards is shooting from three-point range. The facts remain. He's not a three-point shooter. That's not his specialty. That's not his game. But yet he's taking away from his overall game by standing out there and chucking up 11 threes a game. That's taken away from your game. So I said Anthony Edwards is being lazy instead of taking it to the hole, right? Working on that mid-range, right? Doing the inside-outside thing, using your athleticism. Instead of doing all these things, we have Anthony Edwards out here talking about, dunking hurts my hand, and once again, being lazy now, chucking up all these threes because they think this is what we want to see. The fans want to watch these guys chuck up these shots. It's not entertaining. That's not basketball. This is what we're talking about. And I've talked about other plays. You have Jason Tatum out there chucking up all these three-point shots. You're not a three-point shooter. That's not your game. Once again, you're taking away from your overall games by being lazy and standing out there and chucking up all these threes. And this is why a lot of people, the actual fans of the NBA, we can't watch this stuff anymore. You cannot watch it any given night, any game that you turn on. All you see is one guy comes down, shoots a three. The guy gets the rebound, comes down, shoots a three. Sometimes they don't even pass the ball. Someone gets a long rebound, they come down, chuck up a three. No passes involved. Just one guy chucking up, maybe 2-3 dribbles, chucking up a three. And you'll watch that for 4 or 5 possessions consecutively. Up and down, no passes, barely any dribbling, no plays being run, no defense being played, just guys chucking up threes and no shots made. Man, it ain't like these guys are knocking these shots down with regularity. You could watch a game and 4 or 5 possessions go by. No one makes a damn three-point shot, but they're going to keep chucking those threes up, and that's the real problem. So these guys won't adjust or adapt their games, right? We've talked about this before. Uncut Hoops mentioned this in the last live stream, how these guys will not adjust. They'll just keep chucking the threes up. But Giannis is not doing that. So far this season, last night I was looking at some of the in-season tournament. I was watching some of that game with the Bucks versus the Atlanta Hawks. And the one thing that stood out to me at the end of that whole game, it wasn't just necessarily the game itself or the impact of Giannis or on both sides of the ball and the plays down the stretch. No, it was none of that. You know what really stood out to me the most, guys? in that game is how Giannis attempted 0 threes. He attempted 0 threes. Not that he didn't make any, he attempted 0. And to me, that was the key. And that's the key for a lot of these guys. But for some reason, they're out there shooting 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 threes a game. They're chucking up all these long-range shots. Half of those shots are not even good shots. It's like these guys are taking 8, 9, 10 threes, and they're all wide open in the flow of the offense, right? And they're good shots. A lot of these shots are not good shots. They're heat checks, or they're just coming down the court and putting up a shot. There's no one else involved in the play. There's no movement. There's no cohesion. It's just guys chucking up shots, man. Even if you have a guy drive the lane, he'll have an attempt at a layup. He'll kick it out for a guy in a three-point shot. This is what we're dealing with now. So guys are turning down wide open layups. They're turning down easier shots closer to the rim to kick it out for these long range threes that might go in. They may not go in. This is what's the problem in the NBA. Everyone just keeps shooting and shooting and shooting, and it's hard to watch these things. And guys' games have deteriorated. Jason Tatum was never a three-point extraordinaire, but now he's a three-point chucker now. Same thing with Anthony Edwards. That was never your game. They weren't comparing you to Michael Jordan because of your three-point shooting. They weren't talking about you and Reggie Miller. You were being compared to Michael Jordan because your athleticism. So once again, you're wasting your talents and your athleticism in your career by shooting up all these shots. Developing your overall game is what these guys should be working on, but they're not. They're camping out the three-point line. They're settling for these shots. I want you to think about something. Giannis on the season, guys, has attempted 17 threes. 17. You have guys taking more than that in one game. One game. I think there was one game where Jason Tatum shot 17 threes or 16 threes or something like that in one game. He shot all those. It might have even been more than that. It might have been 19 threes. He took a crap load of threes, man. Jason Tatum in one game, guys. This is what's going on now in the NBA. Everyone's a shot chuck extraordinaire. Like I told you, everyone thinks they're Steph Curry, but it's even worse because they're chucking up all these shots and they're not in the flow of the offense. At least what Steph Curry was doing came in the course of the offense, came in the course of winning games. Right? They were a formidable team because of the prowess of Steph Curry. That's unique to what he does. The combination of his ball handling ability, that's the dribbling skills of Steph Curry, also his ability to finish under the rim at a high level, along with his shooting ability. It's different than what a lot of these guys think they're doing. They don't dribble the ball as efficiently as a Steph Curry. They don't finish under the rim as good as a Steph Curry. And they obviously don't shoot the ball from outside like a Steph Curry. But once again, it comes in the flow of the offense. Everyone feeding off of Steph Curry. That's not necessarily the case for some of these other guys chucking up all these shots. It's actually inhibiting and hurting their overall team, the consistency of the team. The Warriors were known for a team that moved the ball, spaced the ball, played defense, but they played a cohesive team game, right? Guys like Klay Thompson were involved. Draymond Green was involved. Steph Curry was involved, right? The Andre Iguodala's, the Sean Livingstons, right? The Leandro Barbosas, the Andrew Bogut's, the Harrison Barneses. And you guys, this is why someone like Kevin Durant felt comfortable coming to that team because he knew the kind of system that they ran there. He knew what playing like someone like Steph Curry would do for him. Right? That's a positive. This is what we're talking about. That's not a positive what these guys are doing. So Giannis has only taken 17 threes on the season, guys, which is incredible to me, which is outstanding. I love to hear that. I love to see that. They played 23 games. I want to say Giannis has played in 23 games this season. He's taken 17 threes. So as you can see, that's less than 1 3 a game, which is outstanding once again. This is what Giannis should be doing. This is how he should be playing. And I want to congratulate and say thank you to Giannis for playing that way, for not falling into that trap and becoming like one of these players. Because for a while there, it looked like Giannis was going to try to attempt to be a shooter, a shot chucker like this. You guys remember a couple of years ago, Giannis was shooting, I want to say 4 or 5 threes a game, which is why are you shooting 4 or 5 threes a game? But this is what he was averaging, about 4 or 5 threes a game. Over the last 2 seasons, he's barely shooting 1 3 a game. And that is what Giannis and a lot of these other guys should be doing. When we think about Victor Wembanyama, and I talked about Victor Wembanyama on this channel, and I have no problem with Victor Wembanyama. He's in his 2nd year in the NBA. So we're still waiting and seeing with him, right? And hoping that he'll become a great player down the road and that he'll actually carry the NBA, right? And that he'll hold the standard, right? We're hoping that he won't fall into the traps of some of these other guys and the way that they go mentally and load manage and flop around. But the problem for Victor Wembanyama right now, and I've talked about this before, is this man is chucking up 9 threes a game. 9 threes a game. On the season, Victor Wembanyama at 7'4" or whatever the hell he is, this man's attempted 179 three-pointers, guys, or 176, whatever it is. He's attempted a crap load of threes, right? So Giannis has taken 7. Victor Wembanyama has taken 179. You know how many free throws Victor Wembanyama has taken so far this season? I believe 78, 79 free throws, 77 free throws, somewhere around there. So he's literally taken 100 more threes than he has attempted free throws on the season. Giannis Antetokounmpo, the complete opposite. He's taken 17 threes on the season, which, like I said, I'd love to hear that number. And he's taken over 200 free throws. He actually leads the league in free throw attempts this season. He's actually led the league in free throw attempts several years because, once again, Giannis is taking his butt in the paint and he's actually creating contact. He's forcing contact. He's forcing teams to foul him and put him at the free throw line. Playing his game. That's a game he should be playing. He should be banging down low at damn near 7 feet tall and the physical specimen, right? The Greek freak that he is. Victor Wembanyama, similarly built. When Giannis first came into the NBA, you guys remember what he looked like when Giannis first came in the league? Remember, it took Giannis, 3-4 years to develop, to become an actual player in the NBA, right? 3 seasons it took him. So once again, you look at the way Giannis was, his body when he came in, he was a Victor Wembanyama type looking guy. A very thin, long, lanky player with the athleticism. This is Victor Wembanyama right now. So now Victor Wembanyama needs to develop his musculature, his strength, but he also needs to focus on an overall game and stop shooting all these damn threes. You're shooting 9 threes a game. Is insane to me for someone at that size, at that height, at that athleticism. This dude should be shooting, once again, maybe 3, 4, 5 threes at most a game, but the man's taking 9, 10, 11 threes every single night out there. That's not the way games should be played for someone of that nature, from someone that size. And this is part of the problem for the league and why it's not entertaining to watch. You have 7'4" guys, 7 foot guys, 7'1" guys, 6'10" guys, thinking that they're 6'3", 6'4" guards. And they're out there chucking up shots, dribbling the way that they think they can dribble when they can't dribble. And the only reason why these guys are allowed to dribble the ball the way that they are is because of the officials and the lax officiating. There's no one holding the standard officiating-wise. They don't call these guys for the palming violations or the carries. Victor Wembanyama's carrying the ball all over the place. Kevin Durant's carrying the ball all over the place. James Harden's carrying the ball all over the place. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Trae Young. It goes on and on and on. These guys are carrying the ball all over the court. And I'm not knocking these guys, but what I'm saying is the standard's been lowered. So these guys today think they can dribble, they think they can shoot, when in reality they can't. So once again, thank you to Giannis for not being one of these guys that's going out there and chucking up all these threes and forgetting about the overall game and how the game is actually played. You can impact the game in other areas. You can impact the game in the post. You can impact the game in the mid-range. You can impact the game on the defensive end like Giannis is doing. So when I made that video earlier this season, I said, what's up with Giannis? He didn't really seem like he had it, right? The Bucks were in a funk, right? They started the season terribly. But Giannis just didn't seem to have the same, impact on the defensive end. And that's what he was always known for: rebounding, playing defense, right? Scoring those points, leading the Milwaukee Bucks, man. Having that impact on both sides. And now he's doing that, right? And he's having the impact on the defensive end. And he's not shooting those threes. So last night when I watched that game, or yesterday during the day when that game was on, that was the thing that stood to me the most at the end of the game, man. Right? It was how Giannis took 0 threes. I believe he took, I want to say 15 free throw attempts I think he had last night. That's still a problem for Giannis, is the free throws. But see, this is called self-awareness from Giannis. For me, that's how I see it. Self-awareness. He knows that he's not a shooter. He knows it. And how do I know that he knows it? Because he's not taking those threes. He's not chucking them up like that. Like I said, a couple seasons ago, you remember Giannis was taking like 3 or 4 a game. And there were some games that I watched him, he would take 5, 6 threes, right? Maybe he made the first one. Maybe he made 1 of 2. Or maybe he made the first 2 threes. And he would keep shooting them. That's a problem for a lot of these guys, is that if they make the first 3, then it opens up the floodgates for them. But on the flip side, if they miss the first 3, then they'll keep shooting until they make one almost. So I told you, you'll have a game where you have a guy go 1 of 9. 1 of 9 from the 3. Or like LeBron James that game, who was 0 for 9. 0 for 9. So after you missed the first 3, 4, 5 threes, you didn't think, let me stop shooting tonight and do something different. This is why I was talking about my man Uncut Hoops with the adjustments. These guys don't adjust. They just keep shooting, and that makes the game unwatchable. That's not having a smart, high basketball IQ. I'm 0 for 7, but let me just keep shooting. 0 for 8, 0 for 9. This is what we do within the NBA. But Giannis is not doing that. He's going down low. He's getting to the free throw line. And we know that the free throw line is still a struggle for him. This is the one glaring weakness from Giannis is his overall jump shot. He cannot shoot. But at the same time, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need to be a shooter. He's not a shooter. And that's the key here. Just because someone can't shoot doesn't mean they're not a great player, or they're a bad player, or they can't be great, or have an impact, or lead a team. Giannis can lead the team because of his overall game. It isn't necessarily about the shooting. You don't have to be a shooter. There were a lot of guys in the 80s and the 90s that weren't maybe necessarily shooters, but they did other things on the court. Maybe they were great in the post. Maybe they were great around the rim. Maybe they were great rebounders. So they got a lot of hustle points from tipping balls in, right? And things of that nature. Maybe they developed a game around the rim. So they didn't have to shoot because that wasn't their games. They played their games. And Giannis seems to be playing his game right now. The problem for Giannis has been the free throw line, right? He can't shoot really. And also has been his health lately over the last, I want to say 3 or 4 seasons. His health has been questionable. He's been missing playoff games. And that needs to be the priority for Giannis, to make sure that he's there when it matters most. You have to be there. You must be tough and fight through these things. Be there for your team. And that's been the problem for Giannis. But it hasn't been the overall game or lack of three-point shooting. You know, you remember James Harden some years back tried to knock Giannis and say that he had no skills. Oh, yeah, if I could just come down the court and just dribble and slam dunk. You know, James Harden's a clown. Because the funny thing is that Giannis has a higher career score output, right, in the game than Kevin Durant does. And I've talked about this before, about Kevin Durant and his lack of aggression scoring the ball. He doesn't have that mentality. But Giannis' career high is higher than Kevin Durant's. Everyone talks about how skilled Kevin Durant is. This is supposed to be the most skilled era, but yet someone like Giannis, who doesn't have any skills, right, still has a higher scoring output than Kevin Durant's ever sniffed. Kevin Durant's never sniffed 60 points, but Giannis has been over the 60-point mark before. So once again, when James Harden talks about skills, he sounds stupid. Giannis, who has no skills, actually led a team to a championship. He was actually losing. What was he down, 2 games to nothing in that championship? He led a team to a championship. James Harden wishes he could do that. He's never led a team to an NBA Finals, let alone a championship. And he's had all kinds of talent, all kinds of help around him. And the problem has always been what? The skills of James Harden aren't there when it matters most, because James Harden's skills are fraudulent. He's not as skilled as Giannis. All that dribbling between the legs nonsense, all that step back traveling, carrying the ball, crap, that's not skills. That's why it amounts to nothing when it matters most. When guys are playing defense and the teams get better, James Harden folds up. That skill doesn't translate into actual winning games in the postseason. Giannis's defense, his physical game, that translates into the postseason. So this is why he was able to lead a team to a win when James Harden hasn't even sniffed that. Not even close. So you guys know the deal. Shout out to one. Shout out once again to Giannis for not chucking up all these threes. Only has taken 17 threes on a season, which I said is outstanding, is amazing. I wish more players would take his lead and understand this. Victor Wembanyama, look at Giannis. You don't need to be shooting 9, 10, 11 threes a game. Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, all these players today. Stop chugging up all these threes. It's not your game. Work on your overall games. Work on your defense. Your leadership. These are the skills you should be developing. You shouldn't be worrying about taking up all these threes. These guys think they add a 3-point shot to their game, that's supposed to do something. No, because once again, you've gotten lazy and you've rested on your laurels. So you're not incorporating the threes into your game. The threes have taken over your game. That's the problem here. Giannis knows the deal, man. He's getting to the free throw line, still struggles to the free throw line, but that's part of his game. He's not out there chucking up all these shots, and that's what I would notice the most in that game the other night. 0 3-points attempted for Giannis, man. So much respect to him for going out there, and like I said, and playing his game and not falling into this disgusting trap where everyone wants to be like everybody else. No one has any originality, no creativity, man. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.